What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today we are welding the diff in my 1990 Miata. This is my daily driver, and welding the diff is probably not a 100% great idea, but you know, I'm tired of driving in the snow and having only one wheel spinning, and honestly it's less controllable with an open diff. So we're gonna weld her up and then she's gonna drive like hell. First off, we gotta go get some supplies at Walmart. So let's hit the road. Gotta hit a quick last open diff slide. This is the prime hometown sliding spot. Camera work, but she still gets sideways. Honestly, this thing slides better on, while it's open diff, it slides better on pavement that's like dry, because you can actually weight transfer. When it's like wet or snowy out, it makes enough power to spin one side, and then it just one wheel peels. So hopefully the welded diff will fix that. So if you guys didn't know, Walmart actually has very good deals on oil. You can usually get it cheaper at Walmart than at any auto parts store, just because they're such like a high volume. They sell so much stuff that they get a better deal on it. So we are at the oil. Probably gonna go Castrol, this shit, just because it's cheap. Or maybe we'll go Valvoline. I'm a big Valvoline guy, actually. 28 bucks, pretty good deal. All right, we are back in the garage, in the home garage, not the school garage, and it's time to weld that diff. Let's take it out. All right, here's what we're working with under here. It's actually pretty rust free. I haven't actually been under this thing yet, but like there's no significant rust yet, so that's nice. Anyways, this diff shouldn't be that terrible to get out, knock on wood. We have these 4 bolts for the stub shaft. What is it? I think this is called a power plant frame right here. It bolts to that in the front. Then you have these 2, you see that bolt right there? That is the back brace where the bushings are. So a couple bolts should be able to rip it out. I'm gonna have to take this exhaust off and get it out of the way. It has a nice cat back, but it's still catted, so that's good to know. There's really no significant leaks. Oh, we're leaking right there a little bit. That could just be moisture from the ground though, but overall it looks pretty clean under here. You can see our radiator I put in. I should have seam sealed my welds when I repaired the front. You can see that's rusting a little bit, but I'll clean that up at some point, not today, because I didn't seam seal, so obviously salt and stuff's gonna get in there and rust it, which isn't really great, but is what it is. Anyways, let's get this exhaust off and get to work. Now, if you live in the Rust Belt like I do, where literally everything ever is rusty, this tool right here is your #1 friend. These exhaust bolts are giving me a hard time. They're rust fused together. You can see how crusty they are. So you just hit them with a little heat and they come right off. So make sure you have a blowtorch. Mid pipe is gone. Now let's get that diff. All right, so my plan is to get these stub axles out first. When the diff is hard mounted, that way it's easier to get them out and I can take care of the rest after. Holy fuck, those are in there tight. Fuck. Might be an impactor situation. Oh, there we go. Oh, that one was not bad. That one's loose. But you gotta give her some. Oh, yep, just like that. That one's nice and loose. Already got that one. Top guy. These are only 4-bolt stub axles. On my 240, they were 6. That one. Oop, I'm stuck. And the back one. Honestly, the 4-bolt is nice. Oh, that one was nice and loose. The 4-bolt's actually nice because it's less work. The 6-bolt axles suck because there's so many things to tighten that I don't mind the 4. You know, it's a little less strong. This is a Miata after all. It's no S chassis. S chassis, best chassis. This swivel socket on a little impact like this is like my favorite tool ever in the garage. Because when you have the socket straight on the drill, sometimes it's hard to get in tough situations. But you know, got a little swivel on there, and you get right in. Just like that. Zip those bolts right off, and that one's stuck in there too. Nice. Oh, lovely. Simply lovely. And then, you get the bolt stuck in the socket, and you have to go up top to the vise and try and get the bolt out. Oh, I got it. Ta-da! Wow, I'm 3 for 3 on bolts getting stuck in the socket. Can we go 4 for 4? Wendy's 4 for 4. Wendy's is actually a terrible restaurant. I hate Wendy's. Dairy Queen, much better. Oh God. This back one. Where is it? Right there. We went 4 for 4. When you do that, I just take a little flathead, give her a little. Oh, just like that. It's good practice, you know, good practice. I'm surprised. With as rusty as the exhaust was, look at how easy these stub axles come out. You ready? Oh, come on. Stuck a little bit. Might need a little pry. There, trusty flathead. You know, we're gonna wait. That'll fall right out once I take the diff out, so. Look at this liquid gold. Draining the diff. Probably, I'd take bets that it's the factory diff oil. Probably never been changed. It's pretty disgusting. If you've ever worked with gear oil, you know it smells terrible. So this stuff smells extra terrible. I got the bolts out for the drive shaft and this power plant frame thingy. Weird Mazda magic. Next, all I have left holding it in is the 2 bolts on the side where the, oh, this backlighting is terrible. Sorry guys. Look at that. Yeah, the only bolts I have left are the 2 like bushing bolts. And then we're gonna drop her out of here. I was hoping draining it to take a little weight out so I don't drop it directly on my face. That'd be nice. I might put a little piece of wood across just to catch it so I don't drop it on my face. Okay, look at that. Terrible design. Such a pain in the ass to get out. There's like these little spline things that go on the top here, and you have to like hammer them out from the bottom that like hold it into this power plant frame. Don't buy a Miata, buy a 240. They're way easier to work on. Anyways, these bushings look really good. I don't think I need to do bushings, which is nice because I didn't buy them. Now we take a break for supper. And then we take this apart, weld her up, and then put her back in the car. Let's get this thing taken apart and see what's inside. For some reason, one of these bolts is longer than the other ones. I am not too sure why. For some reason, they put one bolt like in the middle of this, and I can't get to it. So it's not good. Not good. Just like that, she's all apart. Now I was wondering whether this was an LSD or an open, and it is an open. Very open diff. Honestly, it rotated very well and slid decently for an open diff. So that just shows that like when this thing's welded, it's gonna slide like crazy. Next step, we gotta get her all cleaned out with some brake clean and then get to welding. Don't mind the annoying buzz from this light, it is old. So there's multiple theories when it comes to welding diffs. Some people just weld the spider gears together. Let me show you what that means. So some people only weld these two gears together and that's it. Well, 4 gears. Some people do plates. I did plates on the 240. So you put a plate in here and you weld the plate all the way around the gears. You can also weld right to the housing. So you can weld these gears right to this housing. On this one, I think I'm gonna do the welding to the housing because it's so small that like there's really not even any room to get a plate in there. And the plate wouldn't really do much anyway. Like, I also don't feel like cutting one out, but the plate would literally be like smaller. Like, this is my hand for scale. The plate would be so small that like, is it really gonna do anything anyway? Not really. So we're just gonna weld the gears together and weld the gears to the housing. And hopefully it will be good enough to hold. It's welding time. First, we preheat. This also gets rid of a lot of like the gear oil and stuff. It's time, guys. Going high heat, 6 speed. Alright, welding is nice and done. You can see I welded the gears together and I welded like across. So hopefully it should be nice and strong. And I also welded to the casing. So ideally, it works great. I am worried about the stub axles because there's a little slag in the slots, but hopefully I can just hammer through that because it was just a little tiny slag. Honestly, that's pretty easy. Now we put it back together. I just did all of the scraping with a razor blade, and now I gotta put the gabagoo on there, and then put that thing back in that thing, and then put that thing back in that thing. Pretty simple if you ask me. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the boring details putting it back in. You saw me take it out. So I will get back to you guys when it is in the car. Just like that, car is all back together. While I was putting the diff back together, I changed the oil because, yeah, I've had it about 3,000 miles, and according to the sticker, it needed to be changed in, they were going 5. I changed my oil every 3. So we changed the oil while we were at it. New gear oil and diff, everything's nice and tightened down. Diff is nice and welded. Now the question is, do we try to go drive it tonight? Because if we take a step outside, there is currently a lot of snow, like 2.5 inches of powder. I don't know, I think we might have to send it. But before we do that, we gotta clean up. I think I'm gonna let the car warm up outside, and while I clean up, and then go for a little test trip. I'm probably just gonna go like down my road because I don't want to go on the main road, and I have a nice little path that I'll show you guys. All right. It is very slippery. I dare hit the streets. I do not. We shall hit the streets tomorrow. Oh, it slides so nice. Just a short little test rip, but holy crap, dude, it's so much better. It actually slides, and actually, like, it's controllable. Because, like, before, with the open, like, you never know which wheel is going to be spinning. So it's very uncontrollable in the snow. But now, that was awesome. I can't wait to do more, but it's like 1 o'clock right now in the morning. And I really don't want to go terrorizing. Also, I live on a hill. Like, besides my street, it's a big hill, and I don't want to get stuck and not be able to get home. So, we will do more hooning tomorrow. Stay tuned for the hoon video. We are going to take this thing out and see what whether it's dry or wet. I'm going to take this thing sliding and see what it's like anyway. I mean, dry or snowy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.